Good day everyone, my name is Mary Joy A. Muñez. Today I will going to discuss the most important tenses of the grammar in context.
But I will distinguish first the objectives. Our objectives are: at the end of the lesson, the students will be able to define what is present, past, and future tense, distinguish the difference among the tense, identify the words being used whether it's present, past, and future tense in a sentence. So what is grammar in context? Grammar in context involves making connections between grammatical patterns and the meaning of the text. Wider contextual aspects such as genre, audience, subject, and purpose. A reader's feelings and responses to a text. Potential authorial motivation for making decision about language choices. So, in context means that the teaching of grammar is embedded and integrated into other aspects of the curriculum, such as creative writing and analytical reading rather than a standalone activity. So, by teaching grammar through context will help to the learners perceive the structures of the language. And also, bali ang grammar ang system of patterns and structures as a set of resources used to organize words into sentences that make meanings and text. So, if the words na if the words ma-compile na siya, tanan na words become or ma-construct into the sentence. And by that, it's already have a meanings. So today, we will going to distinguish what are the tenses. So present tense. So what is present tense? Present tense is a grammatical tense whose principal function is to locate a situation or event in the present time. The present tense is used for action which are happening now. So from the word present is ngayon or an actions that happening now. For us to understand more, I have examples regarding the present tense. So here are the examples. So first, for example, I take the train to the office. So bakit siya naging present? Because I take the train to the office. So take is an action which is going to, or in other words, an action of progress that happening now. The second one example is Anna and Elsa likes to dance. So Anna and Elsa likes to dance because likes is a present which is an action that happening today where likes is still in progress. Bali si Anna and Elsa giganahan sila pagsayaw which is karon nahitabo. For us to know pod, wala man nag-ingon og Anna and Elsa were like with the to dance. Anna and Elsa were like to dance. So again, present tense is an action that happening today or right now. So to know more knowledge about various tense, we have 8 types of present tense. So these are simple present tense or present indefinite tense, present progressive tense or present continuous tense, present perfect tense, and present perfect progressive tense. So first, kilalanin muna natin si simple present tense or indefinite tense. So simple present tense or indefinite tense, it is used to describe habits, unchanging situation, general truths, and fixed arrangements, or is a verb tense used to talk about conditions or actions happening right now or habitual actions and occurrences. So for us to understand what is simple present tense or indefinite tense, I have an examples. So here are the example. I go to school every day. So go is the present tense or that action is still happening. So we can identify the simple present tense through describe the habit, unchanging situation or schedule. So the example is that is used to describe unchanging situation or habits. Why? Because I go to school every day. So every day is always. So it means unchanging situation siya because ang estudyante or that person is always mubalik jud sa eskwelahan every day. So another example is we play outside after school each day. So in simple present tense, we use describe that as an unchanging situation or habit because after school each day they always play. So it means matawag gyapon nato siya og unchanging situation or habit. So aside from that, in every tenses has a rule for forming a sentence in simple present tense. So these are the rules of simple present tense in forming a sentence. So the rules are subject plus V1 plus ES or S plus object that is singular. Subject plus V1 plus object that is plural. So singular and plural is we already know what is singular and what is the plural. So V1 that is the first form of the verb. So for us to identify what is the subject, what is the verb, what is the object of that example, so here we go. So birds is the subject. Then fly is the verb because an action word. So our object is the air. So that is the plural. Why? Why it is plural? Because birds is a plural. Numbers. Daghan sila. Daghan ang birds. So we use singular if our subject is only one. But in the subject here in the example that I have is nasya S. So birds. Birds fly in the air. So that is the plural. So that is the rules of simple present tense. So the next tense is present progressive tense or present continuous tense. Indicates that an action or condition is happening now frequently and may continue into the future. So this means happening now. Action is happening now. And frequently that may continue into the future. So for us to understand what is present progressive tense or present continuous tense, here are the examples. She is crying. So crying is still in progress. That is the example of present progressive tense because present progressive tense is used for ongoing action, the present. So she is crying. So pwede pa siyang mapatuloy ang iyang paghilak. So the other example is you are singing a song now. So singing is depicting that the action is still going on. So nagkanta pa man siya, there are a chance nga makontinue pa ang iyang pagkanta. So the ing or the ing is means on progress. And also, we should to know the rule for forming a sentence in present progressive tense. So here are the rules of present progressive tense. So subject plus is, are plus V1 plus ing or in plus object. So our example is Ria is writing a letter. So our subject is Ria. Is our auxiliary verb. Then our first form of verb is writing plus ing. And our object is a letter. So this is the rules for forming a sentence in simple progressive tense because present progressive tense is used for ongoing action, the present. And another tense, So, present perfect tense indicates that an action or circumstance occurred earlier than the time under consideration, often focusing attention on the resulting state rather than on the occurrence itself. So, the present perfect tense is used to describe an action that began in the past and has finished by the time of speaking, or it is linking the past with the present as it used to express the actions that are just recently completed. So, for us to understand what is present perfect tense, now here are the examples. So, here are the example of present perfect tense. He has just eaten food. The children have just read the book. So, the first example is he has just eaten food. So, the person started eating the food in the past. So, nag-start na yung siya kaon in the past, but which is finished by the time of speaking in the sentence. So, if the same gyapon ni siya sa the children have just read the book. So, the children started reading the book in the past, which is finished by the time of speaking in the sentence. So, for us to identify the rules of the sentence, here is the rules. So, the rules of present perfect tense is subject plus has, have plus V3 plus object. So, as we can see, our examples of these tenses is the children have taken bath. So, what is our subject? So, our subject of this example is the children. And our verb indicate action is the have. And our verb 3 is taken. And our object is a bath. So, why it is our subject is children and our verb indicate action is have. So, once our subject is plural, so dapat ang kasunod po is plural sad. Dararata mo gamit og has if our subject is singular. And next, so present perfect progressive tense, a continuous activity that began in the past and continues into the present. So it means it's already done but mo continue pa siya into the present. So for us to understand what is present perfect progressive tense, here are the examples. So here are the examples. The students have been cleaning regularly since Monday. So ang mga student nag-start sila og hinlo tung since Monday. But they will if moabot na po ng Monday, mag-clean na po sila. That is the present perfect progressive tense. It's already begun. I began at the past, but it continue into the present. So another example is gardener has been growing plants in the garden since morning. So here, gardener has started growing plants in the morning. So ang gardener is nag-start na siya. It's already started in growing plants in the morning. So antud karon and still continuing to do that. So antud karon nag-continue gyapon siya. And here is the rule of the present perfect progressive tense. So, subject has, have been plus verb 1 plus ing plus object. So, our subject there is Ria. Our helping verb or verb indicate action is the has been. And our verb is writing but plus ing. And our object is letter. So, why we use and has been? Why we use has been, not have been? Because our subject is one. Ria is only one. So, once our subject is singular, we should to use the verb indicate action or the helping verb is also an a singular. So once our subject is singular, dapat ang kasunod pod ang atong gamiton is singular. So in other examples, Na and Elsa have been practicing dance since 2 hours. So our subject is Anna and Elsa. So our verbs or helping verb or verb indicate action is have been. And our verb is practicing. Then our object is dance. So why we use have been? Because our subject is plural. There we use has been if our subject is singular. So for us to not to confuse, which is once our subject is plural, dapat ang kasunod is plural pod. If our subject is singular, dapat ang kasunod pod is singular. So thank you so much for listening. Again, this is Mary Joy Imanez, and have a good day.
Good day everyone. By the way, my name is Shaika Navarre, and I'll be reporting grammar in context past tense. So there are two types of past tense, the simple past tense and the past continuous tense. So first, let us discuss what is simple past tense. The simple past tense is a verb tense that is used to talk about the things that happened or existed before now. Here are the examples of the simple past tense. So first, Wolfgang entered a hula hoop contest. Second, he won the silver medal. Third, Wolfgang admired the way the light glinted off his silver medal. The contest was the highlight of this week. So the highlighted words are the simple past verb tense found in the sentence. The simple past tense shows that you are talking about something that has already happened, unlike the past continuous tense, which is used to talk about past events that happen over a period of time. The simple past tense emphasizes that the action is finished. You can also use the simple past to talk about a past state of being, such as the way someone felt about something. This is often expressed with the simple past tense of the verb to be and an adjective, noun, or prepositional phrase. This is how to formulate the simple past. For regular verbs, add ed to the root form of the verb or just d if the root form already ends in an e. For example, play, played, add ed, type, add d, typed, listen, add ed, listened, push, add ed, push, love, add d, loved. For irregular verbs, things get more complicated. The simple past tense of some irregular verbs looks exactly like the root form. Put, cat, set. So it's just the same as the root word. And for other irregular verbs, including the verb to be, the simple past forms are more erratic. See, saw, build, built, go, went, do, did, rise, rose, am, is, are, was, and were. In this part, the root word have changed. The good news is that verbs in the simple past tense, except for the verb to be, don't need to agree in number with their subjects. How to make the simple past negative? Fortunately, there is a formula for making simple past verbs negative, and it's the same for both regular and irregular verbs, except for the verb to be. The formula is did not plus root form of verb. You can also use the contraction didn't instead of did not. Example, Wolfgang did not brag too much about his hula hoop skills. Wolfgang's girlfriend didn't see the contest. For the verb to be, you don't need the auxiliary did. When the subject of the sentence is singular, use was not or wasn't. When the subject is plural, use were not or weren't. Example, the third place winner was not as happy as Wolfgang. The fourth place winner wasn't happy at all. The onlookers were not ready to leave after the contest ended. The contestants weren't ready to leave either. How to ask a question. The formula for asking a question in the simple past tense is did plus subject plus root form of verb. Example, did Wolfgang win the gold medal or the silver medal? Where did Wolfgang go to celebrate? Did the judges decide fairly? In your opinion? When asking a question with a verb to be, you don't need the auxiliary did. The formula is was, where, plus subject. Example, was Wolfgang in a good mood after the contest? Were people taking lots of pictures? So here are the common regular verbs in the past tense and the common irregular verbs in the past tense. So now we are at the past continuous tense. The past continuous tense, also known as the past progressive tense, refers to a continuing action or a state that was happening at some point in the past. The past continuous tense is formed by combining the past tense of to be, was, and were with the verb's present participle, the ing word. There are many situations in which this verb tense might be used in a sentence. For example, it is often used to describe conditions that existed in the past. As I spoke, the children were laughing at my cleverness. It can also be used to describe something that has happening continuously in the past when another action interrupted it. Example of this, I was making dinner when she arrived. The past continuous can also shed light on what was happening at a precise time in the past. Example, at 6 o'clock, I was eating dinner. Past continuous tense can also refer to a habitual action in the past. Example, she was talking constantly in class in those days. Though the irregularities are few, not every verb is suited to describing a continuous action. Certain verbs can't be used in the past continuous tense. One common example in the verb is to arrive. And that's the end of our topic. Thank you for listening. Once again, this is Shaika Navarre, your reporter for today.
Good day, ma'am. Good day, everyone. I am Kyla Kachpamihar from Group 10, and I'm going to discuss what is future tense. So, what is future tense? A tense expressing an action that has not yet happened or a state that does not yet exist. So, it is used when we are talking about things that haven't happened yet, or is used for actions that will take place in the future. So, we have here an excerpt from a famous speech of Dr. Martin Luther Jr. So, I'm going to read it. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners, will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice,
sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. So the bold words or lines are the signs that this speech is for the future or referring to the events that haven't happened yet. Like the word will. As you observed, all the bold lines have the word will that is referring to the future events. So Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. uses will and shall in making future tense. So according to him, shall is used to express certainty or determination and can only use with the first person like I or we. For example, I shall or we shall. So here are some examples of future tense. Number 1. If you do not save me, I shall drown. Second, I shall be 20 next year or I will be 20 next year is also correct. Third, I will give a speech in the program. Fourth, Alice will assist you in this case. Fifth, I will help you to do the project. So all the examples have will or shall words that is commonly used to express a future tense. In addition, here are some examples of the other words that can be used as future tense. And here are some examples of it. And that is all for our presentation, and I hope you learned something from it. Thank you for watching.